4 matches, 4 wins for Rajasthan. But tonight, that perfect record faces a Hyderabad team that is running out of time. We're at the Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium. For SRH, this isn't a typical mid-season game. It's a home ground requirement to keep their season alive. Rajasthan sits at the very top of the table. They've earned 8 points and a net run rate of plus 2.055. Look further down and you'll find Hyderabad. With only 1 win and a negative run rate, the gap between these two sides is already significant. The question is whether the pressure of a home crowd can actually disrupt a team that has been tactically precise in every game so far. For fantasy managers, this disparity creates a pivot point for the season. You are either betting on continued dominance or a calculated outlier. When you build your lineups tonight, you have to decide between 2 very different directions: safety or a high-risk differential. This tree shows the logic. In small leagues, anchor your roster with Rajasthan's consistent scorers, players most of your competition will carry. But the Grand League path differs. It relies on matchup analytics favoring an SRH turnaround, using picks the broader public ignores. Blindly following the crowd is risky. The data shows a specific mismatch against the heavy favorites. In fact, the most common captaincy choice is statistically vulnerable in this specific stadium today. Winning today's contests requires moving past the broadcast hype and looking strictly at the matchup data. Rajasthan's streak is tied directly to how they've managed the impact player rule. This chart compares substitution efficiency across the league. Rajasthan leads with a net swap value of +9. Hyderabad is currently producing a value of only +2. We saw that efficiency when they brought in Ravi Bishnoi. It was a tactical shift that moved the match score in their favor more than any other single sub this year. Contrast that with SRH, where the bench usage has been inconsistent and, at times, poorly timed. This gap forces Hyderabad to rely almost exclusively on their starting 11 to build an early lead. If the match is decided by late-inning tactical adjustments, the numbers give Rajasthan a clear advantage. Vaibhav Suryavanshi is the current orange cap holder with 200 runs. For most managers, making him captain is the default choice for this round. But this quadrant chart tells a different story. When you plot his scoring against the specific pace profiles Hyderabad will use tonight, the historical data suggests a significant drop-off in his output. Dropping him in a Grand League is a gamble. 1 big score from him and your team is out of the money. But if he fails, as the analytics suggest, leaving him out is the exact move you need to separate your team from the majority of the field. Suryavanshi is the central choice of match 21. You have to decide if you want safety or a path to the top. To stay competitive, Hyderabad's strategy is built on explosive power play scoring. That responsibility falls to Ishan Kishan and Abhishek Sharma. Their goal is to put the bowlers on the defensive from the first over. But they're facing a direct threat from Rajasthan's openers, Trent Bolt and Sandeep Sharma. If Rajasthan's pacers can take 2 early wickets, Hyderabad's middle order will be forced into a defensive role they aren't built for. If the openers survive that first spell, however, the home pitch conditions favor a much higher scoring rate in the middle overs. The first 6 overs of the Hyderabad innings will likely determine the winner of the entire match. Injuries are forcing both teams to adjust their preferred lineups tonight. Hyderabad is missing Jack Edwards, and while Pat Cummins is recovering, they are integrating David Payne into the rotation. Rajasthan is also missing Sam Curran, which brings Dasun Shanaka into the squad. These changes mean an uncapped bowler, like Praful Hinje or Shivam Mavi, is likely to get a starting spot for Hyderabad. This wildcard brings an unpredictability that Rajasthan's scouting hasn't accounted for. Without recent footage to study, their batters are essentially sight-reading a new attack, an advantage that often translates into early, unforced errors. Selecting this low-credit bowler allows you to afford more established stars while benefiting from those differential points. Let's turn these tactical factors into concrete lineup templates. For small leagues, the safe anchor strategy means locking in Yashasvi Jaiswal or Riyan Parag, betting on at least 1 half-century from the pair. Complete that roster with reliable all-rounders, Ravindra Jadeja for Rajasthan and Harsh Dubey for Hyderabad. For the Grand League, take the tactical upset route. Drop Suryavanshi and use that budget to sly in the Hyderabad wildcard bowler. If you want to hedge against the Hyderabad top order, make Sandeep Sharma your vice-captain. Whatever your choice, stick to the logic of your chosen strategy. Don't split the difference between safe and risky plays. Rajasthan's unbeaten run and tactical sub-management make them the favorite for the general public. But here is our official prediction for tonight's matchup. The Sunrisers Hyderabad will trigger a massive upset today. This is based on home advantage, the specific matchup data against Rajasthan's top scorer, and a revised bowling attack. The largest gains in fantasy come from trusting the math when the public is looking at the standings. Tonight at the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium, the streak ends.